Hello and welcome to our Rev-Up. In life, there are really two different kinds of conflict that we encounter, two different categories, I guess you could say, of stress that we encounter in our life. The first is stress from the outside. Typically, this comes from interpersonal conflict, right? Where you have a stressor or a tension with another person. And then the second is stress from within our own head, our own heart. It's kind of generated from within us, oftentimes a reaction to the things that have happened to us. Maybe it could be self-confidence. Maybe it could just be you're angry about things. So we're going to talk about stress from the outside and stress from within. And there really are two words to kind of combat those two things. When it comes to our actions and the way we interact with others, that stress from outside, the word is compassion. It is seeking to be compassionate, to share in the perspective of the other person, to share in the mindset and the vision, what their life is like and where they're coming from. Oftentimes when you start to think that way, that stress will start to diffuse. That tension will start to fall apart and you start to see a little bit more resolution. But it requires humility and it requires that perspective. There's a Bible verse here that I want to reference from Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, soft-hearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you. Compassion. It's about being compassionate. Now, as for that stress from within, the word when it comes to fighting against that stress is trust. Trusting in God. Trusting that He is more powerful than you, that He's more powerful than that conflict, that He is more powerful than even this broken world. The Bible verse for that is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. See, oftentimes we focus on our own understanding, focus on our own wants, our own biases, but we have to trust in God. We trust that God is with us and that He will not forsake us, and that ultimately we know that we are loved. We know that we have this love from Christ that we can share with others. So, as you go through conflict in your life, focus on those two things. Compassion and trust. They work together, and together they can break apart some of the stresses and conflicts of your life. I pray that God blesses you richly and that you're able to bless others as you share compassion and trust in all that you do. Have a great week.